Tensions between the US and Russia have escalated following President Trump's public announcement that he has ordered the repositioning of US nuclear submarines in the region. This move came after former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev made a social media post referencing a Soviet-era nuclear doomsday system. The US president cited these comments as highly provocative. This public spat is unfolding as Trump attempts to broker a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine and has threatened new economic sanctions if a ceasefire is not reached by a looming deadline. Russia has responded to the submarine announcement with a call for restraint, with a Kremlin spokesperson urging all parties to be very, very careful with nuclear rhetoric. Simultaneously, Russia and China are conducting joint naval drills, signaling their unified stance. This highly unusual public discussion of nuclear deployment, particularly during diplomatic efforts, has raised alarm among some experts who fear a dangerous escalation of rhetoric. President Trump's decision to deploy nuclear submarines was a direct response to what he considered highly provocative comments from Dmitry Medvedev, Russia's former president and current deputy chairman of the Security Council. Medvedev's social media posts had referenced a Soviet-era nuclear doomsday system, which Trump viewed as a direct threat. The deployment is also tied to Trump's broader efforts to pressure Russia into a peace deal with Ukraine. He had recently issued a public ultimatum, threatening additional economic sanctions and tariffs if Russia did not agree to a ceasefire by a specific deadline. The submarine deployment, therefore, appears to be a dual-purpose move, a direct retort to what he perceived as a nuclear threat, and a heightened form of leverage to compel a diplomatic resolution to the Ukraine conflict. Many analysts believe this is more of a rhetorical threat and a form of nuclear saber-rattling than an actual military one, given that U.S. nuclear submarines are already a constant presence in international waters as part of the country's nuclear deterrent. The public announcement of nuclear submarine deployment has several significant consequences. Firstly, it elevates the rhetoric around the conflict in Ukraine to a new and dangerous level. The explicit mention of nuclear assets, regardless of their actual mission, increases global anxiety and risks miscalculation. It moves the discussion from conventional warfare and economic sanctions to the realm of nuclear deterrence, a move many experts consider reckless. Secondly, it could undermine ongoing diplomatic efforts. President Trump's special envoy is due to visit Moscow to discuss a peace deal. The timing of the submarine announcement could be seen by Russia as an act of bad faith, complicating negotiations and making it more difficult to achieve a ceasefire. Finally, it could set a dangerous precedent for future international relations. Publicly using nuclear assets as a tool of diplomatic pressure breaks from a long-standing norm of keeping such deployments classified. This could encourage other nuclear powers to engage in similar saber-rattling, increasing instability and making it harder to de-escalate crises in the future. Solutions to de-escalate the current tensions and prevent further crises are primarily diplomatic and strategic. One key solution is for both the US and Russia to engage in clearer, less inflammatory communication, particularly regarding nuclear matters. The public saber-rattling from both sides, whether through social media posts or official announcements, increases the risk of miscalculation. A return to back-channel diplomacy and private negotiations would be more constructive. A long-term solution lies in reviving and strengthening arms control agreements. Treaties like the New START Treaty have historically provided a framework for transparency and trust between the two nuclear powers. Re-engaging in serious dialogue about the future of nuclear non-proliferation and strategic stability is crucial to preventing a new arms race. Furthermore, a permanent, negotiated resolution to the conflict in Ukraine is essential to remove the underlying cause of the heightened tensions. This would likely involve a combination of security guarantees for Ukraine and a reassessment of NATO's role in the region.